Welcome to this Yin Yoga practice for the whole body. So it's a general stretch for your whole body lasting about 25 to 30 minutes. So we're just going to hold each pose for about 2 minutes. Obviously, if you've got more time at home, you're welcome to hold them for slightly longer. That's absolutely fine. So we're going to slowly make our way to our first posture, which is going to be a wide leg child's pose. So take the knees nice and wide, maybe drawing the big toes to touch. It's entirely up to you, depends what's comfortable. You're going to keep the knees wide and you're slowly going to walk your upper body forwards, resting the head down onto the floor or maybe onto a block. Taking a moment maybe to just find a little bit of space. You might want to take a gentle rock side to side here. Allow the hands and the elbows just to relax. Keep the head relaxed and soft. Notice how this feels in the body. So I'm going to time us 2 minutes. Notice where you feel the pose. That's always a really important question to ask ourselves in a yin practice. We're targeting the inner thighs and the outer hips here, a little bit into the lower back as well. So I want you to feel enough sensation, but not too much. If you take it too far, the body's going to tense and you're not going to be able to find any more space. So you want to be able to soften all the muscles as much as you can. So try not to grasp or stretch or grapple to try and reach something in particular or somewhere in particular. Allow your body to tell you what space there is and inform you when it's ready to find more space or to go a little deeper. So keeping the breath nice and smooth. Noticing sensations in the body. That's just halfway through. So you've got 1 more minute here. So soften the space between the shoulder blades. Relax your fingers, your jaw, your shoulders. It's all about time in the pose. It's not about any effort that you put into it. So the softer, the more relaxed you can be, the better. So it's really a practice where less is more. The softer you can come into the postures, the more your body will respond and be able to give you that little bit more space. Just for the next few breaths here, gently reach away with your right hand just a little bit more. Taking a few breaths here, just taking it to the point where you feel that first little bit of resistance again as you reach away with the right hand. Gently draw the right hip a little bit more down towards the floor. Allow that right hand to release and take that little walk away with your left hand. Draw the left hip down towards the floor. And then slowly release. Very carefully walk the hands back towards you. Draw the knees in together and just come up to find a tabletop on all fours. Drop the heads, relax the shoulders. Notice any sensations in the inner thighs, the outer hips or the lower back. Keep the breath nice and smooth. Taking just almost a mini rebound here before we come to the next pose. And then maybe just take a little sway into the hips. A little bit of movement before we come to the next shape. And then release and come to sit on your bottom, taking the legs a little wider. So we're going to find a straddle. sometimes called a dragonfly in our yin postures. So the first thing to do is make sure you're not slumping back into or dumping into your spine. So sit up nice and tall on both sitting bones. Allow the legs to be soft, so maybe just give them a little bit of a wriggle, make sure they're soft. Roll the shoulders back and down, and then simply fold forwards. Perhaps bringing the elbows to the floor, or you might want to bring your hands to your legs, or if you've got any props or blocks or cushions at home, you might want to bring them onto the floor in front of you to give you something just to prop up the floor a little bit. But allow your spine to round, bringing yourself forwards just as far as is comfortable, just till you feel that first point of resistance in the inner thighs, outer hips, lower back again, particularly inner thighs. Allow the legs to relax. Don't flex the feet. Don't do anything with them at all. Let them be as soft as they can be. Same with your shoulders. Keep yourself as relaxed in this shape and use your breaths out to try and find a little bit more space. As you breathe out, see if you can just soften a touch more towards the floor. So using your exhale as you gently explore the space. Maybe you've got more sensation in one side than the other. Maybe they both feel really tight today. But just simply notice, keep the eyes closed, keep your attention, your perspective, your awareness into your experience on your mat, keeping away as many external distractions as you can. Soften, smooth the breath, using those breaths out to find a bit more space. And notice as your edge shifts and you've got that more space as you're here for a couple of minutes, when you can adjust your position to get that little bit more space. But also remembering, if you take it too far and it's too much, then it's also absolutely fine to walk the hands back a little bit. Take something out of the pose if you need to. That's absolutely fine. Keep softening towards the floor as you breathe out. Keep that awareness into the sensations in the body. The target areas of the inner thighs, the outer hips, the lower spine. Where do you feel the pose? What do you feel? What's your body telling you? And when is it telling you and inviting you to find a bit more depth? Very slowly and carefully start to walk the hands back towards you. Bring your hands behind you and just take a little lean back into the hands. Maybe draw the head back slightly, still keeping the feet, the legs nice and relaxed. Keeping the jaw nice and soft, just allowing yourself this space, this rebound opportunity to just observe. And then just start to rock the legs a little bit, taking the big toes in and the little toes out. Just finding that little bit of movement into the hips. And then from there, walk the legs back together. I'm going to change my position just so that you can see a little bit better, but we're going to come to bring the legs together essentially. So still sitting up nice and tall, but bringing the legs together, allowing the legs still to be relaxed. Sit up tall. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Just bring the hands forwards and drop the head towards the knees. Again, if you've got props at home, you want to put a cushion or something under the head or a block. A bed cushion's quite nice, a pillow, something rolled up maybe, blanket perhaps under the head.
Allow your shoulders to relax. Maybe bring the palms to face up towards the ceiling, bend the elbows so you feel completely supported in your forward fold, rather than grasping and trying to get to your feet, which we quite often do, but actually that's not what we're trying to do here. We might be able to reach the feet, but we're trying to be soft. We're trying to just find the space where it is and not where it isn't for now. Releasing softly into the shape, allowing our body to find that space for us. Keeping the breath smooth, keeping the muscles disengaged. Relaxing the jaw, softening the foreheads. Keep the breath smooth, and again use your exhale here in your forward fold to see if you can just find a little bit more space. You're halfway through, we've got 1 minute left here. Notice when you found a bit more space, can you go a little deeper? Targeting the back of the thighs here, the back of the legs, should I say. Also maybe a little bit into the lower back, because once again we're folding forwards here. As you breathe in, carefully bring the hands back towards you. Slowly, carefully sit up. Roll the shoulders. Take a moment. And then carefully just come to lie on your back for a moment. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Take a little rock side to sides. And then just place the feet on the floor. Allow yourself just to rest here for a few breaths. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. And then from here, you're going to take your right foot off the floor, place the right ankle onto the left thigh. So we're finding a bit of opening into the right hip here. Check in with those sensations. Notice how it feels. Keep the right foot gently flexed, just helps to protect the knee. Gentle pressure through that left foot. Notice if this is sufficient. It might be. If it is, keep everything here. Relax the hands. You can even bring the arms overhead if you want to. Relax them onto the mat behind you. Gives you a bit more space in the upper body, but only if that feels all right. An option then, just to lift that left foot off the floor. Bring it in towards the body. You can either stay here with that leg unsupported, or you might want to bring your hands behind your thigh and give it a little bit more oomph in terms of drawing it in towards the body. But just check you're not creating tension in the jaw, the arms, the shoulders if you're bringing it in. And just relax as you bring the leg in towards the body. You can use that right elbow maybe just to create a bit more space, drawing the right leg out, maybe just a touch. But be mindful of tension. Be mindful of not making it too yang, too energized. Try and keep it nice and mindful. We want our attention, our focus of the posture to be our connective tissues, not our muscles. Muscles spend a lot of their time protecting, tensing. We want them to let go here in our yin practice. So sometimes that takes a lot of attention. It takes a lot of practice. We're not always very good at letting go. So try and let the muscles release. Try not to hold that tension. Try and allow them to settle and soften. Noticing if and when the sensations in that right hip change, maybe giving you more space and opportunity, or maybe it feels a bit juicy today actually and you need to bring the foot back to the floor perhaps. There's always the option to bring that left foot up towards the ceiling. If you want to take that option, still keep it nice and relaxed if you draw it up. But notice if that makes any difference actually to what you're feeling. And if it doesn't, maybe just keep it low. It might not make any difference and maybe adds more tension to the upper body. Last few deep, slow breaths here. Slowly release that left foot to the floor if it's lifted. Carefully take the right foot back to the mat. Staying here in your constructive rest just for a few breaths. Keep the feet, the legs still. Breathing in, breathing out. Notice the right hip. Inner thigh, outer thigh. Notice those sensations and how the body feels rebounding from that shape. I'm going to take it on the other side. So carefully you're going to lift the left foot, place the left ankle on the right thigh, gently flex the left foot. Notice how this side feels. I've got less space this side, so it's a bit more, not uncomfortable, but there's not as much room. And I know that, so I need to be a little bit more cautious here. And then decide if you're going to lift that right foot off the floor, or maybe you're going to bring your arms overhead. So notice what feels better for you on this side of your body and take that option. Keeping the breath smooth. Keep checking in with those sensations, noticing when they shift. We always find our first edge in our yin practice, but that edge quite often moves as we're in a pose, a shape, a posture for a period of time. We can find a second edge or a new edge and another new edge each time the body finds and invites us into a bit more space. But that edge shouldn't be painful. It shouldn't be that extreme end range of motion. It should be just that first point of resistance, and then we just keep adding just a little bit more each time maybe, so that we just get a little bit more space in the body. But we take it slowly. We listen to what's happening in the body. We don't race to find that final extension, that final space at the outset. We wait for our body to be ready for that space. That's halfway through here. We've got 1 more minute left. Notice if you need to make any adjustments. Have you taken it too far, or have you found a bit more space? And can you adjust your body to go a little deeper? Still keep checking in with the shoulders. Make sure they're not too drawn up towards the ears. Relax where you can. Release your jaw. Slowly release that right foot to the floor. Carefully release your left foot to the floor, staying here in your constructive rest again as your rebounds. Pressing the feet into the mats. Noticing the hips. Maybe one side feels a little looser than the other. Maybe they both still feel a little bit tight. Maybe you've got different sensations one side to the other. And from here, just take the feet a little wider and just start to gently windscreen wipe the knees side to sides. Slowly taking them to one side, then to the other. Very carefully. Take it once more each way. And then bring the legs back to center. Walk them in a touch. And then we're going to roll over onto our fronts. So slowly bring yourself round onto your fronts. And we're going to take a little back bend here. So we're going to find what you might recognize as a Sphinx pose. So bringing the arms onto the floor, parallel with one another, driving into the hands. Draw the elbows back towards the feet. And then we're going to soften this because it's a yin pose. So we're going to tuck the chin in towards the chest, relax the shoulders, and relax the legs behind us. So allow them to be soft. They can be wide or they can be narrow. The narrower the legs are, the more compression you might feel into your lower back. So just keep tuning in, checking in with that. You can also change the direction of your feet. That might also alter what you feel depending on your skeleton. Your arms might be a little wider or a little narrower. So we're looking for a little compression into the lower back, not too much. Breathe here. Nice deep slow breaths. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep the shoulders relaxed, elbows released. Try not to engage the glute muscles too much. Try and keep them soft as much as you can. Legs relaxed. Jaw relaxed. Maybe use a block for your head if you've got one at home. Just coming up to halfway through here. Notice if anything shifted. Is it too much? You need to come a little lower. But equally, if it's not enough or your body's saying, actually, I could do a bit more here, you might want to either put something under the forearms or you can walk the hands a little further forward, extend them long and gently press up to a slightly greater back bend. But still try and keep the shoulders released and the legs soft. Maybe still tuck the chin in towards the chest. Close the eyes. Focus on nice slow breaths. Drawing breaths in. Nice slow breaths out. Noticing how it feels. Where are those sensations? Are you breathing smoothly? Can you release anywhere in the body just a little bit more to find a little bit more relaxation in the muscles, that letting go that we talked about? Can you let go? Can you allow them to soften, to allow the practice to get more into your connective tissues? As you breathe out, slowly bring the arms to the floor if you've got them extended. Bring the hands gently down in front of you. Make a pillow with the backs of the hands. Bring the head down onto the hands. And breathe. Notice the lower back. Relax the shoulders. Keep the legs still if that feels okay. And then maybe start to bend the knees and just take the legs gently side to side, just releasing the lower back. Just finding again that little bit of space, that just gentle easing of the vertebrae and the lower back and the hips that we've just been targeting. Bring the legs back down to center, allow them to settle. And then from there, we're gently going to come onto our back. So you're going to bring yourself back round. Carefully, slowly come onto your back. Settle yourself onto the floor. Make sure you've got space above you and above your head and below your feet. And then from here, you're going to bring your arms overhead. You're going to extend your feet just slightly, reach away with the arms, bend the elbows a little bit. You're going to find a stretch into the left side of your body. So you're going to bring your upper body to the right hand side. And then you're going to walk your feet to the right hand side as well. So sometimes this is called banana asana. So it's a banana shape with the body. A lovely pose for finding space all the way down from the up, should I say, from the ankle all the way up to the armpits. So you might want to cross your ankles left over right or right over left. You decide what feels most appropriate for you. You might want to take hold of the left arm or left wrist with the right hand, or you might just want to allow your arms to be softer. But wherever the arms are, just make sure they can relax fully. Are your legs relaxed? And where do you feel the pose? Is it in the side body? Is it somewhere else? We're targeting that left side body. So you want to feel something, but not too much. And you're going to also feel a bit into the right because we're squashing, we're compressing the right whilst we're extending, stretching the left. Relax the jaw, close the eyes. Allow your body to release into the shape. Noticing when the sensations change. Keeping the breath smooth. That's halfway through here. So notice if you found any more space. Can you adjust your feet slightly, your arms? Or are you already at that point where actually it's enough? Or do you need to walk everything back a little bit if you've taken it too far? So maybe taking some nice deep belly breaths here might be quite nice. Drawing a bit more air in. Feeling the sensation of the belly lifting as the lungs fill with air. Maybe the left ribs might be expanding a little bit as you breathe in, releasing as you breathe out. And slowly start to uncross the legs. Walk the arms back to center, walk the legs back to center. Maybe just take a moment and settle at the center. Maybe take a little shuffle into the hips if you wish. And then we're going to take everything to the left. So start to walk the upper body to the left, walk your legs to the left, maybe cross the ankles, right over left or left over right. Maybe take hold of the right wrist with the left hand. And find that stretch, that space in the right side of the body. And that compression in the left. Soften everything else as much as you can. It's halfway through, just 1 minute left. Check in, notice if you can change your position, even by just a minute amount to go a little deeper. As you take your next breath in, slowly start to uncross the ankles, walk the hands back to center, the head, the shoulders, the legs back to center. Carefully float the arms back down by your sides. Just take a moment here, keeping the legs still, observing the sides of the body, coming back to the breath. And then from here, come into your Shavasana. So maybe just start to rotate the feet and the ankles. Maybe find a full body stretch, reaching away with the arms and pointing the toes. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, again, allow the arms to float down, palms facing up. Maybe allow the legs to be a little wider than normal. Feet just coming down towards the floor. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. Allow your spine to be soft and just neutral on the ground. Close the eyes. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. Noticing how the body feels, how the mind feels at the end of our short yin practice. Of course, if you're at home, you're welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you wish. If you're going to come up and get on with your day or your evening, and just slowly start to bring some movement into the feet and the ankles, the hands, the wrists. And then gently bring the feet back to the floor. Taking a moment there before gently drawing the knees in towards the chest. Taking that little rock side to side. Maybe bring your head up towards your knees. Find that little bit of space. Maybe take a little roll to one side or just make your way up to a seated position from where you are. Coming to find a seat where you feel comfortable. Rolling the shoulders back, spine nice and long. Let's bring the hands to the heart space. Taking a deep breath in and a breath out. And take one more deep breath in and a breath out. Well, thank you for joining me today. Namaste.